What is going on, people? This is Elder Tenchi, and welcome to another edition of On the Brain. Today, I got my two friends from the KryptoKnightmare YouTube channel, Tails and Jeff.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
And we're going to just be giving our thoughts on the latest news for Young Justice Season 3. Fans know that we've all been waiting for this for a while, ever since that.
It's been off for what, like 3 years now?
For 3 years. Spoilers, there was a giant cliffhanger involving Darkseid. I'm not going to go into it, but now that we know for a fact that we are getting a brand new show, that there is going to be more characters. We're bringing back the original team, and it is in development for 2018. They just gave us some information about what it's going to be called, and that title is Young Justice Outsiders. So, with that in mind, I'm going to pass it over to my homie Jeff. What do you think about this news, man?
Is there going to be a new Titan named Ponyboy?
I am very excited about it because I got hooked on that show right away. Off the first, I'd say like, even the first 2 episodes, where the hour-long premiere it was, I got hooked on that right away. It was something different, and it was serious, and it was good. It was everything I wanted a superhero cartoon to be.
It kind of reminded me of, because at the time I didn't know that Young Justice was an actual comic.
Yep.
But they did their own thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that
one.
Also. It was based off of a comic series.
An existing comic series.
I believe it was in 2005, I want to say. Somewhere in the 2000s.
I think it was actually a little later than, earlier than that.
Yeah, because what I originally thought when I was seeing it was, I thought it was based off the old Teen Titans comics from, I think Mark Wolf was the guy's name. Yeah. And way back in like the late 80s.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, because they're a team of the junior superheroes, and they look up to the Justice League. They kind of want to be their own Justice League. So when I thought that, I was like, oh, this is like the Teen Titans, but not the Teen Titans.
I thought of it as a darker version of Teen Titans. Yeah. Especially like later on when I found out the history of Young Justice, but also they did a lot of things their way. Like, for example, Aqualad, their version of Aqualad. I
like their version of Aqualad.
Was totally different for this show. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So this version of Aqualad was specific.
Because I believe the original version of Aqualad is actually related to Aquaman, isn't he?
No, actually, he was his sidekick. Yeah, okay. But in this version he's related to Black Manta. Okay. I did like that twist though. Yeah, who is Aquaman's sworn enemy. Yep. But Tails, what do you think about Young Justice and how they presented it back in 2011?
I didn't get to watch it.
You did?
No, I don't. I tried to get her to watch it. It's kind of like me with Invader Zim. She's been getting me to watch it. Oh, man. She's like, you gotta watch Invader Zim. I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it eventually. It's just the same way with Young Justice.
To be fair, somebody around that time kind of told me to try out another series called Madoka Magica.
Who told you that?
Which is an incredibly dark series, which we will probably talk about in the future.
Cute magical girl series, my ass.
But turned on its head. But
beats the shit out of you with it.
But really, with Young Justice, I just remember it came out on prime time. This was like
Cartoon Network. You didn't see that happening a lot. I think the last time that really happened was the original Justice League cartoon back in 2002. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a good show.
They were airing that in prime time, and a lot of people were like, you can't put a cartoon on in prime time. Kids are not going to watch it because the grown-ups are going to be want to watch the news.
But it's Cartoon Network. See?
Exactly.
That's the Cartoon Network, to me, means a network for cartoons. Yes. It does not matter if it's prime time or otherwise. Yep. But I just remember...
Cartoon Network is 24/7 cartoons, basically, although... Now they have branched into some live-action stuff from what I've seen. They've done a couple of live-action series.
They did, and they failed. What I remember the most about it was the animation, the fact that it looked a lot like...
It was really high quality. I
believe it was animated in Korea.
When they announced the series, it was going to be happening, I was like... I was expecting... I knew it was going to have decent art quality, but I didn't think it was going to be. There was a lot of detail to that. Like,
Yeah.
if you look at the way they designed like Robin's costume, Batman's costume, and even the environments, there was so much attention to detail in that.
Yeah.
That it just looked amazing.
I thought the artwork was gorgeous. I thought they looked really good, and I really liked Aqua. Because you know what? I didn't like the Teen Titans Aqualad.
I
Because he was
honestly
more
don't
like-
remember him being in.
I do. He
was.
he
Couple
became
episodes.
he eventually became part of Titans East.
Oh,
He
okay.
was introduced for his own episode, but then he eventually became part of what became known as Titans East in that universe. Yeah.
The thing that really frustrated me about the Young Justice series, though, I gotta say, the amount of hiatuses they took.
Yeah.
The show would go, they would put on maybe like 4 or 5 episodes, and then it would go away for like 3 months.
You're
at
not a
time.
Rick and Morty fan, are you?
Nah, I haven't seen
But
it.
Rick and
I've seen
Morty-
some of it.
Look, Rick and Morty has more of an excuse than Young Justice did. You know the reason why they got cut off in the first place?
No.
Because their toys weren't selling.
Yeah, that is
Exact-
what I would say is the second thing that I hated about Young Justice, is the reason that it got taken off air was such bullshit.
But we didn't know about this until later. Okay, with the Young Justice thing, since it's called Young Justice Outsiders, there is a group I remember called the Outsiders in
Yes.
the DC Comics. So I don't know if they're going to completely bring that in, or is that going to be something completely different? Because they kind of did that with the Runaways when they introduced characters like
Blue
Static
Beetle's
Shock.
friend, yeah, Static Shock,
And-
and I forgot what the other one's names were.
Now, I remember being a little confused when they did the 5-year time skip.
Yep.
Uh,
I liked their. I want to say though, I did like their remake of Static Shock, the way they did him compared to how he was done in the original series.
Yeah, to make him fit into
Was
this
it
show
still Phil
more.
Lamar?
No,
No,
it was a different.
But
you know,
Phil
it was-
Lamar did do voices in Young Justice though.
Yeah, but this version of Static was slightly different.
Did they have gear?
No.
No, Richie wasn't either in it either.
I'll give you a brief synopsis. So what they did when they introduced Static Shock is when they introduced these other kids, they were being kidnapped by what was
I think it was Cadmus.
No, not Cadmus. What were the aliens that were trying
Oh
to...
right,
The ones that were trying to reactivate
I know
the Beetle.
the Reach.
The Reach.
Yeah.
The Reach were secretly, because they got into America. They got into Earth's good graces by acting like good aliens, wholesome aliens that were trying to help us and get to know us. But no, ultimately they had their own agenda, and what they wanted to do was they were kidnapped. They were doing a lot of things. They wanted
It's a whole storyline. You
but
gotta
really,
watch
but one particular storyline was they were kidnapping teenagers.
to bring out their metagenes.
They were experimenting on them because some of them had genetic potential to be metahumans. So they wanted to experiment with powers. So instead of the Big Bang going off with all the gas, Virgil Hawkins, aka Static Shock, was
He had his metagene activated.
so that's how he ended up getting his electrical powers, along with a few other kids and Arsenal, aka the real Roy Harper,
Yep. the
ended up
original
joining
Renegade Speedy.
ended up joining their team. They had an entire storyline based off of one of them being a clone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They went so off the rails with parts of this show that it's like, okay, certain things were a little... They got easier to follow as you went along, but you wish you didn't have to, because once they did the 5-year time skip, you had all these extra...
That's something that I wish they would have
Characters.
not done. Maybe made a smaller time skip, maybe 1 year or 2 years.
Yeah, because once they
Because
started
there's so much
introducing
in that
characters-
5 years that we don't. The only thing we really know that what happened was what the Justice League was doing,
Right.
because that was a main point in season 2.
Right.
But we don't know anything about what was the league doing, the younger league, the Titans, if you
Well,
want to call them that.
like they could just call them the team because
Yeah, the
there's
team.
no.
We don't know what they were doing in the course of this 5 years. Like,
Well, we can get an idea.
That's 5 years where Superboy and Magan,
Yep.
things changed so much between them. There's 5 years that we don't know what was going on with Kid Flash and Artemis, and 5 years with Nightwing. Robin
Now they
and
do
Robin
explain.
Nightwing.
they do explain these things like as episodes go along, like why Superboy and Magan broke up, and what's going on with Artemis and and Speedy.
Yeah,
and,
but my main thing is that even though it gets explained, there's so much more they could have done to develop it.
Right.
If they hadn't done that 5-year time skip.
Right.
Or if maybe they had at least done a comic tie-in to sort of fill in that gap.
So there's a few downfalls.
I mean, there was the game that came out for Wii and
there was also a series of comics
Xbox
too
and stuff.
There was also a small bunch of comics too that came out during that time after the show was canceled.
Yeah.
But I think it was a great show to show you if you didn't already like. I'd say if you were sore about the Teen Titans and the way they ended up going out,
it would, and the way they came back more so.
This might soften the blow, but if you don't like the darker tone, then you could always go back. But speaking of the Titans, so along with the announcement that we're about to get more of Young Justice, we got the title, we got a 2018 release.
The only thing I want to know about the new season of Young Justice is I want to know if they're getting the original voice actors back.
I think they got most of them anyway, or they're about to anyway. But with this one, the Titans live action show. The funny thing about this is that was announced a long time ago, and I thought that was dead on arrival.
Yeah, I had the same feeling with Krypton, which they've finally shown us a trailer for.
But it's been pulled off YouTube.
Huh?
It's been pulled off of YouTube.
Has it? I didn't know that. They went so long between when they announced that they were trying to get it going to when they finally released a trailer was like 3 or 4 years, I think, between those two things happening. That I just figured the project ended up flopping, being dead.
Right. I heard that Teen Titans, the show or the Titans show, was supposed to actually be on TNT. And it was kind of supposed.
I think I heard that too.
And it was supposed to kind of coincide with the current DC live action universe that's going on with the CW shows.
Yeah, that's what I heard, which makes me really curious as to why it's going on DC Direct rather than being put on the CW or at least Hulu
CW Seed or something.
Now, I think it's because they want more subscribers.
I think so. You notice that every other network has a streaming service now?
Yeah. I've noticed that. But they also, a lot of those networks are also putting their stuff up on Hulu and things too. Like, Fox has their own dedicated streaming app.
Yep.
But then you can watch their stuff on Hulu as well. Like, I've been watching The Mick on Hulu.
And you can watch it on YouTube because now and iTunes and things like that with season passes, like if you got the extra money to spare, you can buy a season pass.
Getting it on iTunes is the super expensive way to do it.
Like, that's why I would get my stuff on YouTube or just watch it on Hulu, or in some cases just wait till the entire show either ends up on Netflix or I know somebody that has all this stuff on their DVR. Either way, we have so many options now. But with the Titans show, I find that interesting because number one, it's going to be live action. Now, I haven't seen something like this since let's see. We've had Arrow, Flash, Supergirl that was originally on CBS. But then CW took it, and it made more sense to put it all together anyway.
Because now they got Legends of Tomorrow too.
And you got Legends of Tomorrow, which is its own thing. But it's within that same continuity. But the funny thing is, they also have a show that's part of the CW continuity, but it's an animated show.
The Vixen right,
show.
Yeah, Vixen.
And that's on CW Seed. But the weird thing I found about that is they just did that in like 5 to 6 minute increments per episode.
Yeah, it's similar. They did a similar thing during the course of Smallville to give us an origin to Green Arrow on Smallville.
Right.
They were doing I think it was called Sprint Now. It was something Sprint was doing back then to promote their company.
Like the early days of streaming?
Yeah, and it was like these little 5-minute CGI episodes that told you over the course of, I think it was like 10 episodes, 10 of those shorts, that told you all the stuff about Green Arrow's origin and how his origin in the Smallville universe really is what it was.
I will say this, for this live-action Teen Titans, they had better get Ron Perlman for Slade.
We don't know if Deathstroke is going to be in it.
We don't even know which team is going to be in it.
Right now, I think all we really know is that it's going to be live action, and it's going to have Nightwing, it's going to have Starfire, and it's going to have Raven. And I think they said Beast Boy also.
Yeah, they'll probably have Beast Boy, which that's going to cost an arm and a leg for animating him shifting.
For the CGI.
It doesn't even have to be completely CGI. They can do if they do Cyborg, they definitely would have to go CGI. But I think for Beast Boy, they can get away with body paint and prosthetics. All they really got
when he turns into the animals.
Oh right, yeah, that's true.
But
they would have to CGI.
Given the rewriting in the universe, Cyborg's basically just right off the bat Justice League.
Yeah.
So I think.
So I don't know if he probably won't even be in the Titan series. But if they could get Blue Beetle, that would be good.
Blue Beetle, I would love to see the Ravager. I don't know if you guys know who she is.
I've heard the name.
I've heard the name, but I'm not familiar with her.
She is Slade Wilson's daughter.
Oh, okay. I know
what you're
talking about.
Between good and bad. I'd love to see. Oh my god.
She was in the live action Green Arrow series. Arrow. She was on it.
I'd love to see.
And she was played by Summer Glau.
Oh.
A very underrated actress, I think.
I think she's really good. And also, I would love to see Dula Dent.
Explain who that is.
She is, I believe, from Earth 2 with Owlman and that whole evil team. And she's the daughter of the Joker.
Oh.
And Harvey Dent. Well, not... The female in that world, Harvey Dent is a woman. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Two-Face.
Two-Face. Yeah.
But I think she might actually be Three-Face, and the Joker is the Red Hood. And she's also adopted by, I want to say the Riddler, but I'm not 100% sure. But she then comes over to the main world, and she's bounced around. Oh, I'm the Joker's daughter. Oh, I'm the Riddler's daughter. I'm this person. I think she even said she was Lobo's daughter.
Ugh.
Wow.
But it's like with Dula Dent too, going with the Injustice universe, Harley has a daughter. Joker and Harley have a daughter. So I could see someday it being written in that there's their daughter, Dula Dent. Let her go nuts.
Okay, so because I was only introduced to the Teen Titans based on the TV show. I didn't really read the comics until much later. But when I found out about the original team, one thing that really got me more into the comics was watching Linkara's retrospective on it. And if you have a chance and you're a fan of Atop the Fourth Wall and you have not seen that, it's a few years old now, but it's an awesome retrospective on the entire team of Teen Titans and his first comic and his most favorite comic, the Technus Imperative. And I would love to see them adapt that into.
They just released another animated one.
Well, yeah, that's the Judas Contract, their version of the Judas Contract, I
need to get that.
So far, we're excited about Titans as well as Young Justice. We will make sure Tails watches a couple episodes.
And just like Jeff's gonna watch
Invader Zim. And a funny thing is, we actually did a video talking about Invader Zim, so if you want to check that out, click the card above you, and please let us know what you think of this news for Young Justice. Are you more excited about the Titans live action show, or are you more excited about the upcoming Young Justice Outsiders show?
Let me know in
the comments below. And with that, I am Elder Tenchi.
This is Tails.
And I'm Jeff, a.k.a. KryptoKnightmare.
KryptoKnightmare channel. Check them out when you get a chance.
And the Society of Gamers on Facebook.
Definitely. Excellent content. Great stuff. Gaming. Nerdy stuff.
And Jeff and I interact with you guys.
And with that, we bid you peace,
bye,
love,
bye,
and never be normal.
Damn right.